Modern trans movement is using the LGBT community as a shield to push their radical agenda of mutilation, sterilization, and indoctrination of minors. And as a gay man who represents the organization Gays Against Groomers, I'm here to make it loud and clear. The LGBT community is sick of being used as a scapegoat for these destructive practices that are ruining kids' lives before they ever even had a fighting chance. For years, the LGBT community has fought valiantly for tolerance and acceptance in American society, and in the year 2023, we have achieved that. Now, all our progress is being erased because our community has been hijacked by trans terrorists. The LGBT community is being used like a Trojan horse by extremists in a death cult to ruin the future generation of our country by destroying their bodies, creating irreversible damage, and lifelong medical patients before these kids ever reach puberty. And make no mistake, the radical trans movement has become a death cult. Their most recent mantra is death before detransition. They're possessed by a sick obsession with bodily mutilation, self-harm, identity destruction, and pure hatred for anyone who dares to question this dangerous ideology. America is a free society, and as a patriot, I stand for the freedom of all individuals to make their own decisions about their own lives. But where we draw the line is children. Minors who cannot consent. Yet that is exactly the demographic that these terrorists are targeting with their culture war. It's your kids. They say if you don't bend the knee and submit to their demands of gender-affirming care, which is the nice way of saying mutilation and sterilization, you are a bigot or a transphobe. And now LGBT acceptance in America is down for the first time in years. It's because people know that something is wrong and they're not on board with what's happening. It only takes a caring parent with a little common sense and gut instincts to know that permanently mutilating their child's body is much worse than being labeled anti-LGBT. Many now wear that label proudly. They say, if being against the medicalization of minors means I'm anti-LGBT, then fine, call me anti-LGBT. Because good parents care more about the lives and safety of their children than catering to these rainbow terrorists. I'm here to tell you now, standing up against these bullies and wanting to protect your children is not anti-LGBT. In fact, the majority of LGBT individuals are against it too, like me and like our entire organization, Gays Against Groomers. And we are fighting for visibility to reclaim our community from the trans extremists, to stand up against this evil and destructive ideology, to stand in solidarity with parents, and to give a voice to everyone who knows on a gut level that this is not right, but is too afraid to speak out in fear of being smeared or labeled a bigot. It is not bigoted to want to protect children from elective experimental medicalization. It is common sense, it is compassionate, and it is scientific. The gay left, in collusion with gay media and gay advocacy groups like GLAAD and HRC, are promoting a narrative that the LGBT community supports the medicalization of children, but that is a lie. The LGBT community at large does not support this. It's only fringe radicals. This lie is funded by donor dollars brought to you by Big Pharma. That's right. These organizations are sponsored by corporations like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, United Health Group, and other medical corporations who have a vested interest in turning your kids into lifelong medical patients because they don't see an innocent child with a bright future. They see dollar signs. It's funny, they call a group like Gays Against Groomers an anti-LGBT hate group, but the ideology of gender-affirming care is actually very homophobic. The truth is, the majority of gender nonconforming kids grow up to be gay, so in effect, they are erasing gays. Telling a masculine girl she's trans and needs to start puberty blockers deprives that girl of the right to explore her identity. What if she's a lesbian? What if she's just a tomboy? And telling a feminine boy he's meant to transition to female simply because he prefers playing with Barbies over trucks is outright sexist. At GAG, we see ourselves in these kids. Stop transing gay youth. Stop gay erasure. Save the tomboys. Stop the sexism. Stop using the LGBT community as a scapegoat for hurting children. This is a nonpartisan issue. Protect our kids. We are Gays Against Groomers, and we stand firmly against the elective medicalization of minors.